Hey there, it's Rob, the Ignorant Entrepreneur, and now this video hits hard with home because I am a huge music lover, right? And I've been doing a lot of AI videos recently. So record labels are starting to say that AI music generators will threaten the music industry. Oh no, what will AI do this time? Well, as the Recording Industry Association of America, or RIAA, just basically a trade organization that represents the music industry, they have actually listed AI-powered music websites that make remixes, improve homemade tracks, or strip songs of vocals or instrumentals that harm artists, in a response to a request from the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative. Artists working within all kinds of media have raised concerns in recent years, and increasingly so, seen the rise of image generators like DALL-E, and all the questions that have come up with artists feeling all bent out of shape because they're like, oh, they're infringing on my rights, even though the AI is taking parts of what they do and obviously changing it to where it's disputable or completely unrecognizable. Now, all AI content generators are depending on data sets that are filed with original artworks, text, or audio, and they typically use that work without the owner's permission. Now, we can see why the music industry is getting on top of this early, right? I mean, we already had that whole thing with Sean Parker. Did you ever use Napster? Or do you remember Limewire? Well, that was something that hit the music industry and they were unprepared for it. And all of a sudden you just had the music become devalued until eventually we have what has sought to fight against it today, which is your Spotify's and Apple Music's that say, okay, we'll just make everything so available that it'll be more convenient to stream it rather than download it. And people like me, myself, I'm actually more so skeptical about it. I'll just listen to whatever I want to listen to on YouTube Music for free. Yeah, I'll have some ads, but I'm not going to pay for the musical content that I just feel should be shared because it inspires inspiration. Now, supporting the artist is a different thing, but we know that these streaming platforms aren't really supporting the artists, right? Like I said, the music has been devalued. The streaming platforms are just finding a way to get their little cut in, right? Like, so if somebody pays a $14 a month Spotify fee, which we all know is going to keep rising, they'll use inflation as a guise to do so. But in order to stay profitable, they'll have to keep raising their prices. If you think about like, okay, let's say you stream an artist's song, how much does that actual stream count towards the $14 that they're spending a month? And how much of that is going to Spotify or Apple Music than to the artist? And you come to find out that it's less than pennies, right? And of course, I'm of the mindset that eventually the streaming will become so expensive that people will once again question, okay, is it now worth the cost of having this streaming platform, or should I just go back to downloading the songs illegally? However, when it comes to the AI generation, now we're thinking, okay, let's devalue music even more. We've seen that in art, but let's devalue the music even more because let's generate it without artists and just completely flood the market. I mean, the market's already been flooded. So could you imagine even more music? I mean, it's just way too much. How will you find anything? All of artists' games right now is how we can gather the most attention. You see Kanye West doing the most. I hope that he has some music coming out or something that he's trying to promote. Otherwise, he's just getting attention for attention's sake. But we know that's not the case. I mean, artists are doing all types of crazy stuff, online antics. We had the rainbow-haired guys, and people just testing the limits of how could they cause the most shock. And it's usually for the negative because we know the negative publicity is going to bring the most. So all this to say, we've seen what the image generators do. They can create works just as good, if not better, than the artists that we have today. Now, when it comes to music generation, there's a lot more variance to that because does it sound good? When it comes to just overlaying images and perhaps remixing that through AI, I would imagine that would be a lot easier than being able to take a song and drastically change it enough to where it's not even close to being copyrighted or pretty much indistinguishable, but also sounds good. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been The Ignorant Entrepreneur. I'm out.